Dayman, Pastor Ron Dayman. Alan Lapworth drove me up here to see Ron. There he is, sitting in his favourite chair. How you going, Ron?
Not bad, mate.
All right, Ron.
Later on.
You haven't lost your sense of humour. Tell me, what are some of the highlights of your life? Just going back a bit, after college, you married Ruth.
Yeah.
How old were you when you married Ruth?
24 and she was 27.
Okay. And so then you went down to Parks
Yeah.
and continue the story.
When we got down there, it was a whole group of farmers who had been saved and baptised in the Spirit. I've forgotten the man where it came from now, but they were good, fired up people. They loved God, they wanted to have a church, they wanted to do all the worshipping and that. So I had to start learning with them.
Ah.
And they were just having meetings in a little hall, and we did that for quite a while. And progressively people started to move in a couple at a time. And we ended up with about probably about 30, 40 people. I don't know the numbers. And man, couldn't they sing and worship? It was wonderful. I learned to worship with them. The whole lot, we learnt together. And we just had a real great time in God.
That was in Parks.
Yeah, no, not in Parks, in Gilgandra. Good people, good farmers, work hard. With those sort of people, you get what you see is what you get.
Yep.
And they really put their head down, and we really got stuck into it. And we saw the things of God happen. I had to learn to do stuff just to keep them moving. And so I got down, got my Bible out and read and prayed and everything I could. They gave me a nice little house to live in.
This is Gilgandra.
Yeah.
And how often did you preach? Every Sunday?
Every Sunday, yeah.
Sunday morning?
Yeah.
Did you have Sunday
night? Arden Burrell, you probably know him.
Yes.
He was there and he was starting to fire up. And so I used to talk to him a fair bit and helped him to do his basics on preaching. And he really got fired up in the end. And I used to send him out to preach in other places. He was an evangelist, not a pastor.
Yep.
But I had to do the pastoral. And
so you did the pastoral work, you and Ruth?
Yeah.
Did you have any children by then?
We had one when we were pregnant when we got there. And we had two by the time we left.
Two in Gilgandra. And who was that? That was Anita?
Anita and then Judith.
Okay. So when you left Gilgandra, where did you go?
I went up to Cairns. We had a FX Holden and all my worldly possessions. I built a trailer. One of the Arden Barrel helped me built it from scratch. Got the chassis off an old truck, cut it all down, put the wheels and everything on it, and had to put brakes on it. We towed it all the way up to Cairns, and we took it up the New England Highway. Consequently, I needed brakes on that trailer. So I put them on, and we drove along about 60 k's all the way with the little kids, two babies. And we just took our time. We stopped with Stan, he was up in Glen Innes.
Dan Douglas?
No, not Douglas, Stan. No, he's really a good bloke. He had a church there.
Yeah.
And we stayed with him for a couple of days, just to have a break. Then we drove finally up to Brizzy, stayed there for a while with Joan's family, and then we moved up to Cairns.
So how long were you in Cairns?
I was only an assistant to Stan Douglas there. I had to go and work, and about 2 years, 2 to 3 years, and he taught me a lot. Stan Douglas was a godly man. Every morning he'd go down there, he'd be in the church praying.
Really?
So he said, come down. So every morning I'd go down with him about 6 o'clock and I had to go to work. I was to come my work clothes and we'd pray there for a couple of hours. Then I'd nick off to work and left Joan with the babies. And then we progressively I learned from there. And where did we go from there? Yeah, I was
After Cairns?
we were in Cairns.
And how many years were you in Cairns?
Probably about 3, 4.
3 or 4 years.
Where'd we go from there? I don't remember.
That's where you learned the art of being a pastor.
Yes, and if you learn from Stan Douglas, you learn very well. He was very meticulous, and he did everything right, and made sure that everyone was cared for.
What was the greatest impression that Stan Douglas left upon your life?
Just who he was.
Who he was.
Yeah, godly man. I learned a lot from him, and I'm very